Hey, welcome in everybody to another episode of the Dynasty Brews podcast. If you're seeing us live right now, you're either on Facebook or on YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, click that notifications bell because we are coming at you live right now. We are the Dynasty Drinkers podcast. We are the guys that are bringing you the six pack of good stuff while drinking our own six pack.
Yeah, something like that. I got my Diet Coke going. Trying to,
Hey,
I gotta drive to haunted houses after this, so I'm trying to be responsible, guys.
100%. Enjoy your haunted houses. Haunted houses tend to be a lot funner when you're in college and when you're drunk, and which you are neither. So, and hopefully your kids enjoy them.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm going with my sister. She's in town, so no kids at this one. A little too scary. My dad took me when I was 8, and I legitimately peed my pants. So there's a story there.
Well, there you go. When you're 8 years old, it's okay to pee your pants at a haunted house. When
I
you're
heard it's
28
cool.
years old,
Adam
it's pretty
Adam
not
Sandler
so
said it
okay.
was Adam Sandler said it was cool, man. So
Yeah. I mean, sure. Which one are you going to, by the way? Just give it out as like a little shout out to the fans.
Edge of Hell, yeah, the Beast and the
Edge
Edge of
of
Hell.
Hell. That sounds like there's a lot of gremlins in there, a
It's
lot
like
of
the nation.
grimy ass characters.
It's voted like the nation's best. So,
All right,
I don't
all
know how
right.
scary it's going to be with so much sunlight coming in this area, but all this.
Yeah, look that you've got the beautiful LA sunrise or sunset in
Kansas City, yeah.
Kansas City.
Look at it. I mean, can't beat this. Then again, it could be worse. You could be a San Francisco fan and have no draft picks in what many consider to be one of the best draft classes of the last 5 years. But hey,
So, since you've beautifully transitioned us into it, CMC is a San Francisco 49er. And I have my thoughts about that. I will let you go straight to your thoughts first because I will take up about 5 minutes worth of content with my thoughts. I guarantee it.
yeah,
So,
I
what
don't.
is your reaction? First off, what's your reaction to the trade? And then second off, how are you feeling about CMC as a dynasty asset?
I mean, I'm interested in acquiring him on my win now teams, but I don't think they're gonna. I mean, it's gonna be tough to roster him next year. I was looking at your guys' cap situation, you being a Niners fan, and you got about $12 million. I want to say $12 or $16 million of cap next space. And outside of CMC, not a lot of cap savings. You're gonna have to do a lot of restructuring to make next season work. You got no draft picks next year because you gave up your mortgage the future, so they're all in. And it's not very often you go all in with your quarterback that went down for the season. So your backup quarterback, you're now all in with your backup quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo. So, a curious trade. Don't know how to make of it. I can't imagine they know that CMC has a shelf life and a usefulness because if he's overworked, he's going to get injured again. We've seen it the last 2 years. So I don't know. I mean, it's a risky proposition to trade for Dynasty and in real life. I I kind of think he could be a league winner this season, or he could be a league destroyer. Like you trade for him and you mortgage your future, and you look like a jackass next year when all your players, whenever similar to San Francisco, everyone else is picking these high-priced assets in 2023, and you're just sitting there twiddling your thumbs with an injured CMC.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of the price that comes along with CMC, right? He's had that injury history over the past 2 years. As far as mortgaging all your draft picks in a draft-rich class, San Francisco still has two third-round picks. They have a fifth-round pick. They weren't going to go in with a first-round pick anyways. So at the end of the day, they still have the ability. And, San Francisco makes those wonky-ass picks. They make the picks that people go, well, he was like a seventh rounder in the third round,
Yeah.
Tyrion Davis Price. But, I am not too worried about that. I am worried about the cap space. I will say this, though. somehow John Lynch gets these guys to restructure their contracts all the freaking time. Trent Williams restructured his contract this year. Jimmy Garoppolo restructured his contract this year. I would not be surprised if they were able to get Christian McCaffrey to restructure his contract if they end up having a really good year. Have him just kind of buy into the system. And like I said, if they have a really good year, like deep playoff run, maybe even a Super Bowl run, it could be really easy to get some of these guys to just be like, hey, we want another Super Bowl. Let's buy in. Let's take a little bit less on the cap. My biggest problem is why running back? Why not go out and get somebody like a Brian Burns, like a Dante Jackson, like a DJ Moore at a position that you more or less need a little bit more at? You need a good starting corner right now. You need somebody who can pressure the quarterback right now. You need, let's face it, offensive linemen, but usually they're not the guys that get traded really often at the deadline. But you need all these different positions. You went after someone that's more of a luxury position than anything else. They're getting Elijah Mitchell back after week 9. They've had Jeff Wilson outside of last week's fumble at Atlanta, who's been pretty good. It seems like kind of a reach. I get what they're coming at because they want to have a little bit more talent back there for Jimmy to toss the ball to. But, I don't know. I don't think it was, considering the price was 2 first-round picks at the beginning, I don't think it was a complete, heist by the Carolina Panthers. But at the same time, I don't know if it was exactly worth it.
I don't know if anyone was ever going to pay 2 firsts. That always seemed
No,
like
they
one of
weren't.
those. That always seemed like one of those things where, you're like, hey, I got Saquon on the trade block. I want 4 firsts. It's like, oh, okay, well, that's not happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I agree with you, but I mean, he's gonna have to restructure his deal or something because, what happens? What does this all do with Trey Lance? I mean, I don't know if it really impacts Trey Lance too much, but I don't know. What are you doing with Elijah Mitchell now?
Well, see, this is my mind when it comes to it. I'm looking at this, and I told people on TSS, the one thing that I look at CMC value-wise at this one is his volume goes down, but the quality of his touches goes up. So, like, while he won't have the floor of, here's 10 targets and fucking, possibly, 16-point floor, he'll have this ceiling where he's going to be getting a lot of goal line touches, right? One thing that Elijah Mitchell wasn't good at last year was goal line work. So I imagine what they're going to do is they're going to rotate with Elijah Mitchell because he's still a very good back. We can't deny that. Elijah Mitchell is very explosive. I think they'll probably look to kind of put this into like a semi-timeshare-ish thing. I imagine Christian McCaffrey will be absolutely the third down back, but I do expect them to mix it up a little bit with Elijah Mitchell, try and keep these guys fresh and healthy, at least go into the playoffs with one of them. And, so it's going to be deadly to Mitchell, and it's going to be a little bit costly to Christian McCaffrey because I think his touches will be more quality-based instead of quantity-based, which hurts him because he's been living off of that 10 targets a game thing. But, in some games, he'll get like 2 to 3 touchdowns. So that's kind of where I'm at with this. I think that they can efficiently make this a 2-man backfield. And I think that would be a smart thing. But at the same time, I thought that they were going to use Lance a lot better. And that didn't work out too well.
And so now my assumption is now that George Kittle is a full-time blocker as well.
No, because Trent Williams and Mike McGlinchey practice, so there's a good chance that both those guys play.
Okay, so
as long as Trent Williams comes,
you're saying go get Kittle then?
Yes, I'm saying 100% go get Kittle.
All right, you heard him, folks. His DMs.
I'm also saying buy into Brandon Ayuk.
his DMs are open, I think.
No, they're always open.
They're always open.
They are always open.
Unless your name is Brett Favre and you're sending the picks.
Yeah, dick pics will get blocked. uh, but I want to get into the game last night real quick. So there was quite a few dynasty assets in that game last night. You know, you got Chris Olave, you got Alvin Kamara. I don't know where you're at as far as maybe Jawan Johnson being somebody to stash for the future.
Huh?
Who?
Yeah, no,
Who?
that's not something that's that's a Steve type of target. That's not a me type of target. I'm more of a upper tier target here. I will
I'm
say,
more of a, Justin's more of a Snoop Connor, Tyler Beatty type of guy.
hey, you know what? Tyler Beatty has a chance now that J.K. Dobbins is out. Not that he hasn't had a chance all year, but I mean,
The Ravens would rather sign Devonta Freeman off of the grocery line. Give
hey,
Tyler Beatty any touches.
We're talking about a rags to riches story. How dare you? You know, we are talking about assets. So I got torched last week for a trade I did. A 1 and a 2 I got for my Alvin Kamara on my 1 and 6 team.
That's not bad.
So what? Okay, let's keep going down this train. That was part of the trade, and then there was another 2 in there for Aaron Rodgers, and then that's when it went downhill. So it was a 1, and I think it ended up being a 1. It was a 1 and 3 2s.
3 2s. Okay. For Aaron Rodgers and Alvin Kamara. So this might actually segue into our next segment pretty well. What is your value on Aaron Rodgers, knowing that he has not had a QB1 week this year?
It depends on. It's all about situation. I think 2 2s is kind of where I'm at, and I know that sounds bad, but Tom Brady is probably worth a 2. I mean, do we really think Aaron Rodgers is going to keep playing it with this type of production? They certainly can't trade him. I was looking at the cap situation. He's like stuck. I don't know what the fuck that dude was doing this offseason when he decided he was going back to Green Bay, but he literally just
mescaline.
Yeah. He screwed himself. I mean, he's stuck there. So now it's either retire in Green Bay or play in Green Bay. I mean, that's.
Well, Rodgers seems like the type of guy that, you know, he's got his ring and he doesn't care about anything else other than the money.
Well, I don't know, but I don't know if I buy that. I think he really does want to win. I think.
Does he though?
I think that's why he wants to retire, because he's like, I'm not going to win anything with this shit team. I mean, Romeo Doubs is his best player right now. They're refusing to run the ball.
Lazard is his best player right now.
Yeah, I mean, sure. That's like that other New Orleans guy, Alan Lazard, the Lazard King. Hey, Sammy Watkins is back. Maybe we'll get a top 12 week. It's ugly. Like, what is your price? I mean, so based on that trade, how much would you roast me? Because here are my thoughts on that trade. Kamara could pull a 1 and a 2 maybe. You could say the 3 2s was for Rodgers. I generally hit on my 2s, so I think I value 2s pretty not as much as 1s obviously, but I like my 2s. But Kamara hasn't scored. He's kind of like, he looks washed up, but then he also has those plays where he looks like he still has it. But even then, like, especially when you're me in my situation, when you are a team that's rebuilding, he's going to miss the first 6 games next season. I mean, where do we seek? What's the future hold for this asset? Like, I'm always a fan of selling early, even if you kind of look like a jackass only doing it for a 1. I mean, I would not give up anything more than a 1 for Kamara, and it better be a 24-1 at that. I was happy to get a 23-1 out of the deal.
I mean, you're 1 and 6. You're 1 and 6 with dying assets, right?
That's what
even
I was.
if.
Do you want to know? Yeah. So here was my core players before you get into your analysis. Alvin Kamara, DeAndre Hopkins, Aaron Rodgers, Matt Stafford, Keenan Allen, who was Austin Eckler, Nick Chubb, and I had another receiver that just old as shit. Not Cooper Kupp, but another aging receiver. And then I had George Kittle. Like, I just blew it up. And I never usually suggest this, but you're 1-6. I got two ones and 2 2s for Swift. I think I have like 7 or 8 picks now in this
Yeah,
draft, and then 7 or 8 the next year.
Yeah, that's the best thing you can do. I mean, I'm not gonna go against it. Like you are a fantasy guru when it comes to collecting picks. I will say this: I always try and upsell all my guys. I know you probably do too, but if you have a dying roster like that, where you have all these guys that are kind of over the hill at every position, it's kind of the best thing you can do is sell DeAndre Hopkins after this week. Try and get a 1 out of him.
So I actually
sell George Kittle.
I got 2 2s for Hopkins. It was kind of a package deal. Keenan Allen, by the way. Sorry. Continue your analysis. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, it's just you're right. I mean, I looked at that squad and it was just so over the hill. And I generally like to sell before they go over the hill. But I kind of had pushed my chips all in because I had Aaron Jones too. That was another running back I had.
Yeah, and I mean, it seems like you had the team that was going to turn the corner, but if you're 1-6, turning the corner means maybe you get to 500,
and then you're hoping to get in. But I mean, my quarterback play wasn't there. I mean, I still have Zach Wilson, so I don't know what that.
And that's a future asset, right? Like that's what you want. You want future asset. You want to get rid of the Matthew Staffords, the Aaron Rodgers, all the guys that are kind of clogging up your future. You want to get rid of them at primetime prices. That's why I said, like last night, Hopkins. I didn't draft Hopkins in Dynasty startups.
9th round. I got him in the 9th round.
I just didn't do it because it's a dying asset at that point. I don't like dying assets in Dynasty startups. And you know what? I know I might be sacrificing myself to the bottom. I mean, I might be one of the bottom teams, but I'd rather go with guys that are year 1 through 4 rather than on like their last leg. Because
funny.
I mean,
we're kind of different in that aspect. The way I build, I am a value-based drafter, so I think any startup I did, I had Hopkins. I couldn't beat the 9th round capital on that. I have changed my philosophy over the last 3 years in that when I first started this venture, it was late round quarterback. That is no longer a thing in my eyes. It is quarterbacks early. And then it's receivers. And then running backs are the last pieces I draft. So in this, I did one and I traded down. I didn't have a single pick in the first 6 rounds. And so I had 923 firsts. And now I'm in first place because all the players I got from round 6 through 10 are like just ridiculous players. And then I traded away 2 1s to get Dak Prescott because my quarterbacks were Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. So in startups, I love drafting in round 6 through 9. I know we're kind of getting off topic here, but that's just kind of the way I tend to do mine. Is I would rather trade down out of those first 5 rounds, get rookie picks, and get 6 through round 10, round 6 through 10, because normally those are like second-year players that had a bad rookie season that people are kind of not happy with, and that's kind of where I just tend to excel, I guess. Unless you have Alvin Kamara.
I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, Kamara is one of the few guys that I bit on the value. And I'm not going to say that I was completely out on Hopkins. I was out on him on Dynasty. Every redraft spot I had, I took him at that 9th round value because you just can't beat that value.
Yeah.
100%. No. But like I said, it's perspective. You like to get value all the time. I like to build my Dynasty around one, like you said, the quarterback, because last year I got burned really hard. I made it to a championship game with Sam Darnold. Literally, Sam Darnold Teddy Bridgewater, and the Denver quarterback, Drew Lock. I had so many good pieces everywhere else. Made it to a championship, got burned in the championship because I didn't have the quarterbacks.
I have a true story for you about a super flex league. I feel you on this. I am sitting in first place in one of these things. It's like a best ball thing. I think it's on like Underdog, but my quarterbacks are Carson Wentz, Zach Wilson, and Davis Mills. But do you want to know why I'm in first place? My receivers,
Nick Chubb.
I have Saquon and Nick Chubb, but I kid you not, my receivers are Devontae Adams, Cooper Kupp, and Jamar Chase and DeAndre Hopkins.
Nice, very nice.
And that's because I didn't take a single quarterback until round 9 or 10. And I'm probably going to be like you. I'm probably going to do well, and then it's probably just going to shit the bed at the end of the season.
Yeah. Oh,
but
definitely.
Hey, if it doesn't, then you look like a genius. Because quarterback play is down. But speaking of quarterbacks.
Go ahead.
Oh, nothing. I was just trying to get us into our next topic.
Oh, you were going to do the transition?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, let's finish up with this game. DeAndre Hopkins comes back. Speaking of quarterbacks, Kyler Murray's value. Do you like it going forward? Are you going to, if you're starting up a dynasty league tomorrow, is Kyler Murray one of the guys on your list if he falls to you that you're going to pick up?
Do we have any updated rankings?
I can get it for you real quick if you want to do an analysis.
Yeah, so I was talking to Steve this afternoon, and my philosophy is this. Sean Payton is a guy that's going to have choices. And I was listening to Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk, and it kind of struck a chord with me. And that's this. If you're going to call Sean Payton and say, hey, I got a job opening, would you rather have Kyler Murray or Russell Wilson? Who's going to be easier to turn around? Well, probably Kyler Murray. I think the assets are better in Arizona. So, if Sean Payton goes there, and that's kind of where I'm leaning towards right now, because I think Cliff Kingsbury's just fucking gone. I kind of think Kyler's a value depending on where he's going to end up being. My concern is that we don't get a Sean Payton and then we get a Nathaniel Hackett going to Arizona next year. But as far as value and in terms of the way things go, I think Kyler is kind of a mirage in how bad he is. I mean, did you watch that game last night?
Yeah.
I mean, there is some serious animosity between Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury, and it is boiling over.
Oh yeah. So he is currently in Dynasty on Fantasy Pros. He is ranked number 7.
Yeah, if he falls to, I think there's a chance he falls to 9 by the season's end, and then he might creep back up depending on if Sean Payton there. I've been sending out offers. I can't seem to get him, but I will tell you that I am very interested in QB7 pricing.
See, here's my issue with Kyler Murray. My issue with Kyler Murray is that, what's that?
He's a prick.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, this is a guy who doesn't seem to have his priorities straight. I mean, you fucking have this coach, albeit Cliff Kingsbury is not a good coach whatsoever. But you got to work with him, man. You got to fucking be able to respect him.
Years. Dude, I don't even know if I could respect Cliff Kingsbury at this point. I mean,
but you have to, if you're going to fucking win, you have to have that sort of respect there with your coach if you're going to win. And that's the thing. You want to talk about Sean Payton coming in? Does Sean Payton want to come into a little fucking ingrate bitch in Kyler Murray? Or does he want?
You gotta take into account, you say he needs to buy in, dude.
I just said Kyler Murray's a little ingrate bitch.
He is. I mean, you can say that, but at the end of the day, if you're Kyler Murray and you've been here for 3+ years, fuck, dude. I mean, you know what you have now. I mean, they gave this fucking dude an extension. Both of them.
Yeah, they gave them both an extension. Yeah, I mean, Cliff Kingsbury got an extension after, what, 3 bad seasons and a playoff appearance? In which the playoff appearance, you're just like, wow, they really didn't belong in the playoffs at all.
They're gonna blow this thing up, and I'm curious. I think Sean Payton goes there, but
See, I can't see Sean Payton going there. And the reason being is I don't think Sean Payton could see himself working with Kyler Murray. If Kyler really is like, there are memes about Kyler fucking not showing up to practice because Call of Duty Warfare just came out, Modern Warfare just came out. Like, when you have that reputation around you, why would somebody as serious as Sean Payton want to come work with you?
Because he wants a gamer. Kyler Murray is a gamer.
Both well, why wouldn't you just go play with Dak?
Both on
Dak and that gamer ass defense. That defense is going to give you a lot of leeway.
Actually, the one thing I'll say is we've talked. I'm not a Dak fan. It's interesting you bring Dak's name up, and I know we're going to get to rankings, but I could go off on a huge tangent on this, but Dak's got 1 year left on his deal, essentially, because they have to work out an extension next year. So that whole thing is going to be curious to watch next year, and that's something to monitor. I know he's got 2 years left on his deal after this year, but you do not want to head into the final year of that deal without the franchise tag, because he'll be on year 3 of the franchise tag, and that's going to be like a 250%. He's going to be like the highest paid quarterback if he were to play on the franchise. So
yeah, no, 100%. But yeah, that my thing is that with Sean Payton, you're going into an organization, you're going to win a Super Bowl. Why would you pick the Arizona Cardinals? One, that whole team is really just hanging on Kyler Murray.
They got they got Rondale Moore. They got AJ Green. They got that other dude.
All jokes aside.
They got Zach Ertz.
I mean, listen. Arizona Cardinals are a professional football team, but at the end of the day, come on now.
What do you mean? I mean, you got Zach Ertz.
Oh, you got Robbie Anderson. Oh my God, that's the missing piece.
They are lucky they got Hollywood though. But yeah, maybe you're not wrong. It does kind of.
I don't know.
You're kind of talking me out of this. Damn you.
I just look at Sean Payton as somebody who wants to win, like right out the gate, and Arizona is not the place where you're gonna win right out the gate. I mean, this team doubles down on wide receiver when they have wide receivers. Like, they went out, they got Robbie Anderson, and totally negated the fact that Greg Dortch had a freaking phenomenal first 3 weeks. That Rondale Moore has had like 7 catches prior in back-to-back weeks prior to last night's debacle where he caught a 31-yard pass and then just did nothing else. Like, they're like, oh yeah, Robbie Anderson solves all the problems, of course, because he can get downfield.
Well, I think they were actually looking for someone like Kyler, and the fact that he can just yell at his coach on the sideline. I mean, that's 2 peas in a pod, man.
That team seems chemistry. To be the formula they're going for, huh?
Team chemistry.
Team dickhead is more like it. But yeah, so we will get into our quarterbacks. So so here we go. Justin needs to trim that beard. All right, thank you, Facebook user. Looking like a sloppy pirate. That's what I'm looking for, a swashbuckler. Arr.
Facebook user, you Facebook people. What's Justin? There's 2 Justins.
I think they're looking for. They're looking at me, buddy, with his Johnny Depp looking stuff right here.
Facebook users, get a real social media app, people.
You know what?
We just lost ourselves to listen.
You know what a pirate's favorite letter of the alphabet is?
R.
R, you think it'd be R, but a pirate's love is for the sea. Sea. Yeah.
All
Anyways.
right, Laffy Taffy wants their joke back.
Yeah.
Uh,
Wow, that was bad. Thanks, Facebook user. Love you.
if only he loved
All right.
you. If only he loved your jokes.
Yeah, I know. They don't go off as well on YouTube. But let's go into quarterbacks. Quarterback tiers. I want to hear your top 10 dynasty quarterbacks going forward.
Yeah. So I'm still gonna go with Patrick Mahomes as my number one, and I know that's a hot take because Josh Allen's staring down the barrel of 3 consecutive QB1 finishes in a season, but I just think he's hurdling people and shit. Like that's just not something that's going to keep happening. Like it can't physically. So give me Mahomes, give me Herbert, give me Allen. Those are my top 3. Who are you going with your top 3?
I'm going with Herbert, Allen, and Mahomes, just kind of like you. Obviously, you're waiting on Lamar Jackson to see where he ends up landing. If he lands in Chicago, like you prophesized, I am going to throw him immediately out of the top 10 because there's no freaking way that he can even pull off that. But if he ends up in like a Miami, then he'll probably drop into the top 3.
Okay. For 4
So
through
that's the elite tier, right?
I mean, there's still a couple elite quarterbacks. My elite tier probably runs 5 deep.
All right.
4,
Well, give me the other 2.
4 we'll roll with Lamar Jackson, and 5's gonna be the massage enthusiast Deshaun Watson. Those are my top 5.
Really, Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson comes back
Wow.
this season, probably gonna struggle a little bit. He still knows how to play football. Has never finished outside the top 5 when he's played a whole season. Yeah, give me Watson. Watson is still a premier asset that's mispriced right now.
So I got this.
Just don't let him go near a massage parlor.
This kind of gives it away. Hey, Jason, thanks for coming on, bro. Freaking America's team. Fucking Dolphins suck. Oh.
Was that your
So
co-host?
I don't think. Yeah, that's TSS right there, buddy.
You poor souls.
So I will say this. As far as the finishing up the 4 and 5 for me, I'm gonna go with Lamar is currently my 4. As far as my 5 goes, shit. I don't even know if he's in the NFL yet.
Oh no.
No. I'm gonna give my 5 to,
Zach Wilson.
It's not gonna be Zach Wilson. No, it's not gonna be Zach Wilson for sure. It's not. I'm torn because there's a part of me that wants to give it to Kyler Murray, and then there's a part of me that says, you know what, Justin, you were wrong the entire time, and Jalen Hurts is actually good, which is crazy. But he is the perfect mixture. Like if you wanted Josh Allen light, it's Jalen Hurts. Because he knows when to run the ball. He knows when to pass the ball. And with weapons, he's looked good. And I'll eat the L on that one. I lost on that one.
Yeah, I think I have too, but I would also like to point out we're 6 weeks of the way through the season. And a lot more season to go. The Bills once started out 5-1 to start a season, and Ryan Fitzpatrick got a mega extension. So let's let the season play out, and then I'll put him in the top 10. I need to see it start to finish because it's I just need to see it, and I gotta step off for 1 minute. I'll be right back.
Oh, you're good.
Well,
All right. Well, I'll finish out my top 10. Like I said, I'll put Jalen Hurts number 5, Kyler Murray at number 6, and then my number 7, man, I gotta go with my boy, Trevor Lawrence on this one, which is crazy to say, but I like what he's doing out there. I like what Doug Peterson's doing with him. And then, actually, you know what? I'm sorry. I'll mix that up. My number 7 is going to be Joe Burrow, and then I'm going to have Trevor Lawrence at number 8. Finish it out with Trey Lance at number 9. The talent is just there. I like Trey Lance's abilities. If Kyle Shanahan can just not fuck him up, it would be amazing. Then we got to finish that one out, finish the top 10 out. So, so I was just saying, I got Kyler Murray at 6. I got Joe Burrow at 7. I got Trevor Lawrence at 8. And then I got Trey Lance at 9. And I'm going to finish it out with my number 10 is going to be
Zach Wilson.
Deshaun Watson.
There you go. Massage Watson. There we go.
Yep. The massage parlor man himself.
So you're out on Zach Wilson?
No, he's in my top 12.
Top 12, okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, number 6, I'm going to go with Dak Prescott. I think that Dak is a good fantasy quarterback. I think he's a stat machine that unfortunately doesn't really get it done for me in NFL games so much. I think he's kind of way overpaid. Number 7, I'm going to go with Kyler Murray. I'll go Kyler Murray at 7. I will go Hurts at 8. Yeah, Hurts at 8. Number 9, I'm going to go with Daniel Jones. I'm just joking. No, number 9, I'm actually going to go with I'm going to go a little oddball here, and I'm going to go with the dangerous sandwich, Mr. Russell Wilson, and I realize how bad it looks, but I am also acutely aware of just how bad Nathaniel Hackett looks. I think this can still be turned around. Just not this season. And then number 10, Zach Wilson. I think Zach Wilson doesn't have the volume's not there right now. They don't need to pass right now. So I think it's difficult to say we're just going to write Zach Wilson off because Elijah Moore wants to be traded. I really think that they have no need to pass, and that's why they don't have it. I mean, if you're getting like 5-6 yards of carry with 2 solid running backs, why do you need to pass the ball?
I got one question for you.
Okay.
Did you try the Danger Witch?
No, but it looks good. It looks good.
Did you know that it got pulled?
What?
Yeah.
Did it get pulled today or something?
I think it got pulled within the past couple days or so. But yeah, they pulled the sandwich. And I'm just reading an article right now saying that they didn't pull it over the internet trolling, which means they pulled it over the internet trolling.
They really pulled the Danger Witch?
Yeah, they pulled it. It was But if you ever wanted to have the Danger Witch, it has pepperoni, salami, ham, cheese, bacon, and veggies. That actually sounds pretty fucking good. That's a whole lot of pork there. But I'll tell you,
I thought that was actually one of the best ad campaigns of all times. Not because it was actually good, but because people were talking about it.
Yeah, exactly.
I assumed that they knew what they were doing. This tells me they don't. I mean, this tells me that Russell Wilson might actually have his feelings hurt. I mean, that's actually what it sounds like. That's unfortunate. You'd think he had thicker
It
skin being an NFL quarterback. That's all right. He's out of my top 10.
I was gonna ask you, how do you feel about having a pussy in your top 10?
I'm done. I'm putting in like I now have Justin Fields rated higher.
Wow. Russell Wilson is now 33 out of 32 quarterbacks.
I mean, that actually is like, I don't know if you can, if they actually pulled that because he's so butthurt, then there's no way he's going to turn it around. There's just no way. You need to have confidence, and that's like the opposite of confidence. I don't know.
Yeah. Imagine getting paid $250 million and you just like, everybody is just like on you for being a fake, genuine human being.
Yeah.
Like that's what's happening with Russell Wilson right now. He got paid $250 million and everybody's saying all that genuine stuff, it doesn't look real, buddy. And he's getting butthurt about it. Instead of going out there, doing what a normal person would do or a normal quarterback would do and try and proving everybody wrong, he's taking offense to it. And
yeah, but I mean, I blame Hackett really because like I don't ever see them.
I don't blame Hackett. I blame them both equally at this point.
I don't ever see them rolling the pocket out for this guy. The dude's fucking short. It doesn't take a genius to figure out what the fucking problem is.
Did they ever really roll the pocket out in Seattle?
All the fucking time they roll the pocket out. They established the run, which led to the play action pass. They run those play action bootlegs all the fucking time.
Listen, Russell Wilson, he needs to be able to do that for himself. He's out there in the fire. What they would do in Seattle is they would, granted, they are all run game and all play action pass. I will give you that 100%. But a lot of the time when he was successful in Seattle, he would just be making plays on his own, off script, 1,000%. And he just doesn't do that anymore. And that's because I don't know. Is he paid? And he doesn't feel like he has to earn it anymore? Like this, know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't think it's that. I really think it's either
like, does he not want to take the hits anymore?
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's either he's washed up or.
And then when he throws the ball, like he was always complaining about his offensive line sucking, right? He went on Dan Patrick and he said, my offensive line, well, he didn't say that, but he hinted at, well, the offensive line needs to get better. And they were the 6th best offensive line via PFF that year.
I mean, they really needed to just give his offensive line the danger witch. I mean, that's the problem.
That's it. That's it. The power of the danger witch.
Or the lack thereof.
And that could have been their meals for, every time they were on over there at the facility, to just be like, you're eating the danger witch because you're going to be dangerous. But yeah, I don't know. I that I've never liked Russell Wilson whatsoever. I think he's a fraud. And it's kind of showing this year. He's got everything around him, and he just kind of sucks. What's he gonna do?
Says as the danger witch has been off the menu since August. I'm gonna go buy a danger witch. Fuck it.
You think you could just walk in and be like, "Hey, can I get a danger witch?"
I tried actually.
Do you think that they know what the menu is? Do you think they know the construction?
No, they don't. No, I don't. I don't know about you. Every time I go to a fast food place, they're always on their fucking phones now because no one has any work ethic. So I imagine if I went into a Subway, like I'd be like, I want the danger witch, and they'd be like, I have no idea what that is.
You'd have to read it from your phone,
yeah,
pepperoni, there's salami, there's ham. Like, don't you have a little thing back there? It's like, no, we never got it because it was never a real thing. I think so I'm going to shout this out. I think Luke Sawhook had this out the other day where he said that he went and got a danger witch, and it was the first time anybody had ever asked for one. So I guess
I'm
it was
telling
a
you, the
popular
danger.
sandwich.
You know, I'm telling you, I had my thing when I tweet. It sounds good. I mean, it actually does sound good. And I was told that that was the worst take I've ever had. I think it sounds good, and I think Subway's
It, w-
trash. So
it was definitely the hottest one.
definitely the most dangerous.
Ooh, look at that. Nice
Other than
play on words there.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
you know,
out of my top 10 though, straight to jail. Russell Wilson.
straight to jail. Straight to jail out of your top 10. I want to play a quick game with you of quarterback. Would you rather? And I'm going to give you two quarterbacks that are relatively in the same spot on Fantasy Pros, and you tell me which one you want for a dynasty. So we are going to start off with Justin Fields, Kirk Cousins. Who would you rather? One is always been kind of mediocre, and one has potential, but is in a really mediocre situation, like like remedial math type of situation.
I mean, I don't love either. So give me Cousins. I mean, Cousins at least has Jefferson, and you know you're good to go with Cousins as long as the game's at noon on Sunday. You know, outside of that, you're gonna want to find a streaming option, but noon on Sunday, you know you're getting like 20, 30 points. Whereas Justin Fields, you're just you're getting a pouting face and maybe points depending on how many passes they want to throw that game. But you're also good, you know, Justin Fields is also really good to throw interceptions though. So if you get like rewarded for that, then give me Justin Fields.
Yeah, like the complete opposite of the Scott Fish Bowl.
Yeah.
If you get rewarded for incompletions and interceptions, you're like, whoa, that's amazing. Justin Fields is my guy.
That is my dude.
Let's go. Jared Goff or Carson Wentz, a battle of two guys that could have no job next year.
Jared Goff
Who
right
do you
now
think?
because Jared Goff's playing, so playing well too when he does play, other than against the Patriots, which everyone struggles. Let me give you one. Let me give you Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady.
I'll take.
It seems easy to me. I think I know which way I go.
I think I'll just take Brady.
Absolutely. He's got the weapons. He can turn it around mid-season.
Yeah.
Especially after the bye week.
I don't doubt that Rodgers has the weapons. I just doubt that Rodgers has the years in fantasy for me. So it's like, you know, if I'm taking on both on a 1-year basis, I'll take Brady.
Do you think, though, that Brady's done? I don't buy that he's done. I think if he gets divorced, I think he's going to be like, fuck it, I'll play for a couple more years. I don't think it's in Tampa necessarily.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, where else would he go? Anywhere else he wants to go, I guess.
I mean, other than Buffalo or Kansas City, he could just be like, hey, I'm interested in coming. Like, fuck, Brady. Let me ask you this. This is a little off topic, but I'm not convinced that Derek Carr is going to be back in Oakland or Vegas next year. I know they extended him, but it was not guaranteed. Convince me I'm wrong, because I'm not convinced that they're sold on that whole thing.
Well, if they lose, they're definitely going to draft a quarterback. Yeah, like if they have a losing season this year, they're definitely drafting a quarterback because he is not good. He is not a franchise type quarterback. He is not Mr. Reliable in tough situations. He is Jimmy Garoppolo with a higher touchdown to interception ratio.
I mean, if there's a quarterback there, I mean, it's funny. We're getting to that point where you're going to have to start calling your shots on quarterback again because, like, there's going to be what, like three to five quarterbacks in this draft class. How many seats are open though? How many seats are filled already?
Well, let's run it through. Let's run it through real quick. You could probably say Tennessee is open.
Washington, Tennessee's got Malik Willis.
Really?
He was your QB1 last I checked. So
yeah, when was that again? Like 5 months ago, 6 months ago? Things change.
He wasn't even. I don't even think he was your QB1. I'm just giving you.
He was never my QB1, by the way.
No, I know.
He was never ever my QB1. I thought he was trash and fucking got ripped for it, and whatever.
What's funny is I have him and I'm trying to sell him, and Steve's like, "No, we're not selling him. He's good. He's gonna get a shot. He's like Lamar Jackson." I'm like, I don't see it. He was up there for me, but I mean, you can be swayed by draft capital.
Let me ask you this: Desmond Ridder, Malik Willis, who gets on the field first?
Malik Willis.
See, I actually think it's going to be Ridder.
No,
that's interesting.
Desmond Ridder sucks. Like, that's one dude that I watched on film, and everyone was like, Desmond Ridder. It's all about Desmond Ridder. Desmond Ridder's going to be a first-round quarterback. There's going to be 5 first-round quarterbacks. It's Desmond Ridder. He's going to be there. And I'm like, Desmond Ridder came and hit like a 10-yard out. Like, Desmond Ridder sucks. Like, Desmond Ridder has the worst accuracy I think I've seen out of this whole draft class, and I'm including Malik Willis on that.
I don't think many people have worse accuracy than Malik Willis. So
I saw him miss so many underneath passes to running backs. Like, I'm not like Josh Allen rookie year type bad where it went into like the fucking tent.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah, the next Josh Allen. You heard it here first, folks. Josh Allen.
All right.
But, I mean, places that are open. I mean, there's openings. The one spot, I gotta stay on topic here. I mean, 5 seats that are probably open, I'll say, is like you said, Tennessee. I think Oakland's available. I think Houston for damn sure. San Francisco's a wild card. Yeah. I mean, they don't have a first round.
Well, they don't have any of the draft capital to even make that a possibility.
Correct.
So don't.
But neither does my 5th team that's out there as well, which is
the Rams.
Not the Rams. That's a good one. No, I was gonna say New Orleans. New Orleans clearly needs a quarterback. They have no first round pick. I mean, there's actually more seats that are open. Washington. Did I say Washington already?
Chicago. You could say Chicago.
There's actually plenty of seats, and not every team actually has the draft capital to pull this off. So it's going to be an interesting offseason. I mean, out of all those teams, Brady could actually go to New Orleans and maybe. I mean, as long as Dennis Allen's gone, which I call that shit. Dennis Allen sucks. Dennis Allen is just fucking terrible.
Well, you got to give it to Dennis Allen.
No.
The Saints are in every single game.
No, not giving Dennis Allen shit.
Listen, his quarterback's got a broken back. His wide receiver has a torn labia. He has trash for tight ends outside of Taysom Hill and Jawan Johnson every once in a while.
No,
what does this guy really have to work with?
He's been
feeding Chris Olave. Like,
he's got Adam Troutman, Alvin Kamara.
No, he doesn't. He's injured.
He had him. Did use him right.
You can't do anything with Mr. Troutman when he's injured.
I think Dennis Allen sucks. I'm dying on the hill. I'm up here. I got my musket. The British
I'm not going to disagree with you.
Me.
He sucks, but I'm going to tell you this. You got to give him some sort of credit because the Saints are in every single fucking game.
I will give him enough credit. Like on those math tests where the problem's completely wrong, but you wrote something down. That's the type of credit I'm giving him.
You're going to give him that partial credit for trying?
Partial. Yes.
Hey, you know what? The question was worth 5 points, but we'll give you 0.5 because you actually put some effort into it.
Oh no, they always give me.
You might be a little retarded, but you put some effort into it.
They always gave me at least 1 out of the 5 points. A half point is just like,
That's Dennis Allen level right there.
That's sympathy right there. That's like when you're arguing with your wife and she like feels so bad for you, she has to like give you an argument on your side.
I pity the fool that had to raise you.
Oh man,
I'm having way more fun than you are. So where the fuck were we?
Malik Willis QB1 season. I mean,
oh yeah, Desmond Ridder starting before Malik Willis.
I don't think that's happening.
I think
by the way, Like, if you drafted one of these two fuckers in the first round of your rookie draft, then you're not listening to the show, because that was like the dumbest shit. You could have gotten like a Jahan Dotson or like a George Pickens, but you chose to sharpshoot a position with a third round quarterback because you saw Davis Mills come out and get a full season of starting. So never draft a quarterback without day one draft capital in the first round. That's just a bad recipe for disaster.
Justin, that's where you're wrong. They were listening to the show. They were just listening to the episode where we drafted with Debbie Kane.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Hey, we all make mistakes. That's what Fantasy Receipts is for.
That's it. That's it. Go check them out. They're a good program. And I've shown up on there once with my Abram Smith take, which is phenomenal.
It says your favorite fantasy analyst, so I do not qualify.
Yeah. Well, you have to be a fantasy analyst. I don't even feel like I'm an analyst until I've been counted on Fantasy Receipts 50 million times. But anyways, I think we're going to close up this episode. It's been a great one. Obviously, we'll get into more Dynasty content later on. Maybe we'll even throw up a poll, see what the fans want to hear about. But as always, Brew Crew, it's been phenomenal. Hope you had a good time, and we'll see you next time.
Hopkins.
For first round pick or nothing. 2 seconds.